So let's go ahead and practice with network load balancers. So to do so, I'm going to create a load balancer and I will choose a network load balancer. Then I will call this one demo NLB. It's going to be internet facing of IPv4. And then for network mappings, I will deploy it in 3 different availability zones. But as you can see here, there's an IPv4 setting. This is because the NLB has a one fixed IP address per AZ that you're deploying to. And you can either choose a IP address assigned by AWS. It's going to be public because I chose an internet-facing type of network load balancer. But if you had an elastic IP, you could use that elastic IP instead on your network load balancer. So we're good. We have 3 AZs and we'll have 3 fixed IPs at the end of it. And right now I need to create a specific target group for our NLB. So it's going to be based on instances. And I'll call this one demo TG NLB. And the protocol is TCP on port 80. I have to choose TCP for my network load balancer. And then the health check protocol can be TCP, HTTP, or HTTPS. So we choose whatever we want. If we know we have an HTTP application, it's not a bad idea to use an HTTP type of protocol for the health check. So I'll use / as my health check path. And then the health threshold is going to be 2. The timeout is going to be 2 seconds. And the interval is going to be 5. Okay, let's click on next. We have 2 available instances, so let's include them as pending below and create our target group. So now our target group is created. I'm going to refresh this page, and as you can see now, my demo target group NLB is appearing. So we're good to go. We have defined our NLB. Now let's create our load balancer, and it's going to take a few minutes for it to become active. So our network load balancer is now created, and if I click on it and open the DNS name and open a new tab, as you can see, it does not work. So let's investigate. We're going to go into the target group of our network load balancer, and we're going to look at the targets, and well, 2 of them are unhealthy. This is weird because we know that the instances are healthy on my other load balancer. So what's happening? Well, it turns out that when you use a network load balancer, you don't define a security group for it. That means that all the traffic goes through the network load balancer and goes straight into the EC2 instances. And this is the security group of the EC2 instances that is going to decide whether or not the traffic is allowed. But if we go back to our EC2 instances and look at the security group we had defined from before, the launch wizard one, and look at the inbound rules and edit them, well, it turns out that we only allowed port 80 coming from the application load balancer. And so therefore, the traffic doesn't work for public traffic. So let's add a rule instead to fix this temporarily while we still have a network load balancer to allow HTTP on port 80 from anywhere. Let's save this rule. And now it's saved. So back into our target group now, let's refresh this page. And we are doing health checks every 5 seconds. And hopefully very soon it's going to start to show healthy. And as you can see now, yes, my 2 instances are healthy because we made changes to the security group. If I go into my load balancer and refresh, yes, as we can see, I see my hello world. And if I refresh the page more and more, it's going to switch between different EC2 instances. So that's really good. We have exactly the behavior we want, and we have our network load balancer nicely working. So to finish this hands-on, you need to just clean up after yourself. So to do so, first delete the network load balancer. So let's delete it. And yes, I confirm. Number 2, we can delete the target group itself. So yes, we delete it. And finally, into our inbound rules of our security group, we can go ahead and actually delete the rule that allowed HTTP from anywhere. So this is this first one for me. And save the rules. And that's it. So we've seen network load balancers. I hope you liked it. And I will see you in the next lecture.